My girlfriend mentioned that I'm overly accessible, which makes me unappealing. When I unexpectedly brought her midday meal, I replied, "You're correct." After that, I started being less reachable. She wasn't thrilled when my executive helper mentioned I was in Miami alongside a customer. The customer was 24 years old and stunning. Initial entry: me, 31-year-old guy, employed in commercial property dealings. Not the flashy variety depicted on television. Primarily strip centers and average-sized office structures. Solid income, dull routine. I've been dating Jessica, 29, for 2 years. Cohabiting for 8 months. Last month, I caught her off guard at her advertising agency with her preferred Thai cuisine. I figured it'd be sweet. She puts in insane hours, constantly griping about hunger pangs. A scheduled discussion fell through, so I picked up pad thai and spring rolls from her go-to spot. The expression on her face upon my arrival in her workspace wasn't delight. It was irritation. "What brings you here?" she inquired, eyeing her colleagues. "Delivered your midday meal, darling. Aware you've been overwhelmed by the Peterson initiative." She exhaled. Actually exhaled. "Derek, we've discussed this. I require limits during work hours. We'd never covered that. But fine, point taken." We consumed the food in tense quietude in the lounge area. Her colleague Megan continued smirking. That evening, she dropped the bomb. "You're excessively present. It's off-putting." I paused while sorting garments, frozen in place. "Pardon? You're perpetually around. Constantly messaging. Constantly following up. It's overwhelming. Ladies desire gentlemen who are occupied, who maintain independent existences. Enigma draws appeal, Derek. You picking up on the initial ring? Hardly charming. So you wish for me to? Disregard you? Not disregard. Merely dial back the enthusiasm. Cultivate your separate pursuits. Force me to earn your focus occasionally. The contradiction? I oversee 3 estates. I possess ample activities. Yet I carved out moments for her since I believe that's partnership. You're accurate, I stated, resuming the sorting. I'll refine that. She grinned, approached and planted a kiss. I figured you'd get it. It'll improve, trust me. All right. Challenge accepted. Progress report 1. 2 weeks onward. Began basic. Delayed replies to messages. Allowed rings to divert to voicemail. When she queried evening meal arrangements, I'd already lined up an engagement. Meeting up for beverages with Tom from the Riverside venture. Customer supper could extend. Fitness center, followed by scrutinizing agreements. Initially, she appeared content. Observe, this suits us. You're prioritizing your well-being. But then the Miami episode unfolded. My executive helper, Rachel, 26F, is exceptional. Harvard business degree, could likely manage my enterprise superior to myself. She handles incoming communications during sessions. Last Wednesday, Jessica rang the office. Derek Wallace's workspace. Rachel speaking. Hello Rachel, Jessica here. Is Derek free? Oh, greetings Jessica. Mr. Wallace is currently in Miami accompanying a customer. Shall I relay a note? The detail is, I indeed traveled to Miami, inspecting a prospective acquisition site. The customer turned out to be Sophia, whose familial foundation sought expansion into commercial property sectors. And indeed, Sophia is 24 and resembles a fashion periodical cover model. Merely observations. The session remained wholly occupational. We examined 3 sites, shared a professional repast at a seaside eatery, and I returned via flight that night. Yet Jessica lacked that background upon phoning. That evening, she awaited my arrival. Perched on the sofa, glass of wine gripped. That artificial grin females employ prior to detonation. How was Miami? Effective. Believe we'll finalize the Coral Gables asset. Rachel indicated you were alongside a customer. Indeed, the Brennan Familial Foundation. Why inquire? Merely curio. What customer demands a flight to Miami sans notification to your partner? I placed my satchel aside. You desired my reduced presence. I'm delivering reduced presence. That excludes vanishing to Miami. I didn't vanish. I was laboring. You recognize that activity you suggested I emphasize more. She rose. Wine spilling. Who comprised the customer? Does it signify? Affirmative. Sophia Brennan. She's assuming control of her lineage's investment holdings. Jessica seized her device, likely to peruse social profiles. Located her within 10 seconds. Her countenance cycled multiple sentiments. She's a youngster. She's 24 and holds a master's from Wharton. Scarcely a youngster. You passed the day alongside her? I devoted the day to displaying assets to a prospective purchaser valued at 8 figures. That's my profession. Why omit informing me? I couldn't suppress a chuckle. Jessica, you explicitly stated I was overly present, that I ought to embody enigma, sustain an independent existence. Now you're distressed I withheld my routine schedule? That's distinct. In what manner? She offered no response, merely remained, mandible tight, until she retreated to the sleeping quarters. Progress Report 2, 1 month onward. The guidelines persisted shifting. Reduce presence, yet not alongside appealing customers. Avoid incessant messaging, yet reply inside an hour. Maintain separate existence, yet obtain her approval beforehand. Embody enigma, yet provide full disclosure. I simply adhered to her initial directive. Concentrated on occupation. Committed to fitness regimen. Convened for drinks with acquaintances, sans seeking clearance. The Miami excursion proved so fruitful that Sophia endorsed me to 2 additional affluent heirs, eyeing investments. My enterprise flourished. Conversely, Jessica unraveled. She commenced appearing at my workspace unannounced. Simply aimed to catch you off guard with a midday meal. The reversal. She initiated multiple messaging barges when responses lagged. Examined my device during presumed slumber. Fabricated conflicts over every feminine contact in my correspondence. The most amusing aspect? Her social media narratives. Transformed from self-reliant female uninterested in males to my partner embodies perfection abruptly. Images of blooms I dispatched ages prior. Evening outings she presently pleaded for. Paired portraits with inscriptions on authentic affection. Then arrived Vegas. Major commercial property assembly. I attend annually. This year, Sophia attended as well, plus the majority of my clientele. I notified Jessica a week prior. I'll depart for Vegas Thursday to Saturday. CRE Summit. Her complexion blanched. Is she attending? Whom? You recognize whom. If you reference Sophia, likely, alongside roughly 3,000 fellow sector participants. I'm accompanying you. It's an occupational journey. Companions bolster one another's vocations. Similar to your attendance at that advertising assembly in Chicago, the occasion where marital partners were expressly excluded? That's dissimilar. All matters diverged when impacting her. Jessica, attendance is impossible. Entirely sessions and connections. You'd find it tedious beyond measure. Acceptable, yet contact me nightly. Certainly. I refrained. Progress Report 3. The Vegas repercussions Thursday. Dispatched a message. Arrived securely, proceeding to enrollment. Disregarded her 15 subsequent messages. Shared 0 on social platforms, which tormented her as she monitored others' assembly posts. Friday. Complete quietude until 11 p.m. Extended day. Retiring now. Converse tomorrow. Her reply constituted an essay on confidence and dialogue. I slumbered already. Saturday. The explosive collapse. Sophia uploaded a collective image from a terrace gathering. Roughly 30 individuals, myself among them, clutching beverages against the Vegas horizon. Occupational mingling at peak. Jessica rang 23 occasions. I participated in a forum on sector patterns. Device muted. Upon even 2. Eventual examination, the messages bordered mania. Whom else attends? Why that attire on her? You're inflicting pain deliberately. We require discourse immediately. I'm en route to Vegas. That final alerted me. I exited and rang her. Refrain from driving to Vegas. You're alongside her. I viewed the image. I'm amid 30 individuals at an occupational gathering. Are you genuinely this doubtful? Doubtful. You evade with some floozy. Cease. Sophia has secured me 3 transactions exceeding 2 million in earnings. You shall not disparage my customers. Thus, she's superior to me? Presently. She's more occupational. I terminated the call. Powered down the device. Savored the conference remainder. Progress Report 4. The Sunday confrontation. Returned via flight Sunday morning. The residence resembled chaos. She'd evidently devoted the weekend to wine consumption and self-induced fury. Vacant containers, tear-smeared linens, my attire scattered. She lounged on the sofa, attired in Friday's professional garb, tresses disheveled, device in grasp. We necessitate discourse. I deposited my luggage. Indeed, we do. You disregarded me throughout the weekend. I labored. Alongside her. With numerous customers at an occupational assembly. She arose, teetering faintly. You're entangled romantically. Negative, I'm not. Then why such remoteness? I yielded to it. I chuckled genuinely. Jessica, this embodies precisely your request. You declared my presence excessive. Unappealing, recall? You sought enigma, distance, a gentleman with independent pursuits. I supplied that verbatim. Not in this fashion. Then precisely? Clarify how I achieve reduced presence while remaining wholly present for you? It's equilibrium. No, it's dominance. You desired my pursuit, to evoke desire via withdrawal. Yet you falter when genuine alternatives arise. She's not an alternative? My enterprise qualifies as alternative. My customers qualify as alternatives. You're an individual engaging in maneuvers and distressed. Upon defeat, she commenced weeping. The unattractive variety. You've transformed. Negative. I merely commenced reciprocating your treatment. Unpleasant, isn't it? That's harsh. That's parody. She hurled a wine vessel at the barrier. It fragmented, staining purple. Depart, she bellowed. Jessica, this constitutes my residence. My title graces the tenancy agreement. You relocated alongside me, recall? The expression on her visage proved invaluable, as if that fact escaped her. Then I'll depart. Fine, she hesitated. Fine, concluded. What response do you seek? You're intoxicated, aggressive, and evidently profoundly doubtful. You fabricated an issue-absent foundation, and now resent your remedy's reversal. Thus, fine. Depart. She refrained from departing. Not that evening. Rather, she barricaded herself in the sleeping chamber, my chamber, and endured 3 days of what resembled an infant outburst in mature guise. Monday, notified her employer of illness. Procured takeout via my payment method. I nullified following the third. Uploaded enigmatic inscriptions on social media regarding self-value and enduring egotistic mistreatment. Tuesday, her maternal figure contacted me. Teresa embodies Jessica's origin precisely. Derek, what transpired with my offspring? I adhered to her relational counsel. She shattered. You journeyed to Vegas alongside some harlot. I attended an occupational assembly with 3,000 sector associates. Jessica claims romantic entanglement. Jessica claims extensively. Lacks veracity. You must rectify this. Teresa, your offspring deemed my presence excessive and unappealing. I granted distance. Now she resents it. I cannot remedy her doubt. If affection existed, I harbored affection. Historical tense, prior to her maneuver initiation. Disconnect. Wednesday, the majestic departure. Returned from labor to discover her belongings largely assembled. She'd enlisted her acquaintances Megan and Alyssa for aid. They directed lethal glares while transporting crates. Jessica embodied complete victim persona. Inflamed optics, unkempt top knot, voluminous perspiration attire. The pity elicitation ensemble. I'll retrieve the remainder this weekend, she murmured softly. Certainly. Notify via message beforehand. Is that your sole remark? What utterance do you desire? Remorse? Desire to reconcile? Yet I lack remorse and interest, Megan inhaled sharply. Such a cad. In what manner? By adhering verbatim to Jessica's explicit directives? You comprehended your actions, Alyssa interjected. Affirmative. I honored my partner's distinctly voiced preferences. Abominable, evidently. Jessica recommenced weeping. You inflicted this for torment. Negative. You initiated this for sway. It merely deviated from your blueprint. I merely sought to sense desired. You were. Each message, each unanticipated midday meal, each prompt response. That signified my desire. Yet insufficient. You required maneuvers. It lacked maneuver nature. Then what constituted it? Quietude. They exited bearing capacity. Jessica pivoted at the threshold. You'll lament this. Unlikely. 3 weeks post her relocation. The defamation effort proved diverting. Per social network, through persisting acquaintances, I'm egotistic, sentimentally tyrannical, assuredly romancing Sophia, potentially homosexual. That innovation, deficient in intimacy, imaginative fabrication, domineering. Conversely, in actuality, Sophia's foundation finalized 2 assets. The earnings cleared my vehicle debt. Rachel ascended to operational oversight. She disfavored Jessica regardless. My residence radiates serenity. No further subtly hostile memos or disputes over trivialities. I slumber superior, nourish superior. My fitness advancements astonish sans perpetual turmoil. Then yesterday transpired. I shopped at Whole Foods procuring genuine produce for once when I heard my designation. Derek? Jessica, accompanied by some male. Elevated stature, facial hair, appeared uneasy. Greetings, I uttered as alter. Native scarce. This is Brad. Impressive. Pleased to encounter you, Brad. Brad inclined his head, evidently desiring alternative locales. Jessica fixated upon me. I appeared refined. Novel attire, recent trim, likely radiating from stress absence. You appear, she commenced. I'm thriving, appreciation. And you? Affirmative, thriving, utterly thriving. Brad perused his device. Relational zeal oozed. I ought to proceed, I declared. Customer evening meal. Alongside Sophia, the toxin in her tone. Indeed, affirmative. She's facilitating introduction to her kin, divesting certain assets. Jessica's countenance traversed the sentiment array. Thus you entwine? Negative, Jessica, I'm prosperous. Distinction exists. Brad eventually vocalized. Darling, we ought to depart. Darling, unfortunate Brad. As they retreated, I overheard his query. Who's Sophia? Irrelevant, Jessica hastened. I genuinely pitied him. Nearly cautioned regarding the year 2 presence dialogue impending. Yet alas, no longer my domain. Concluding progress report. Received a message from Jessica last evening. 2 months following her exit. I yearn for our bond. Erased it. Then subsequent. I aired. Might we converse? Erased. I recognize your perusal. Actually abstained. Rachel informed regarding them. She captured images from my workstation device left at labor. Brad and I dissolved. Emerges. Rachel conducted social sleuthing. Evidently Brad proved sentimentally distant and neglected relational emphasis. The individual endured 6 weeks. Admiration, Brad. Here's what Jessica perpetually overlooked. Distinction lies between excessive presence and attentiveness. I fielded her rings because discourse appealed. I delivered midday meals because she occupied my thoughts. I messaged promptly because she ranked foremost. That lacked an appeal. That embodied affection. Yet she'd absorbed some publication or auditory program on sustaining enigma and sustaining intrigue, and resolved our bond required amendment. She fabricate an issue to evoke desire via my resolution. Except I resolved verbatim as solicited. I diminished presence. I emphasized vocation. I ceased her prioritization. Evidently, she desired not a distant partner. She craved the turmoil of compelling a present partner vie for focus. I halted vying and embraced existence. She descended into frenzy. The enterprise prospers. Sophia's connections unveiled portals unforeseen. Rachel and I contemplate launching independent enterprise, occupationally, prior to inquiries. She's pledged to a child physician. Initiated romance with Catherine, 32F, 3 weeks prior. She's an enterprise attorney, ruthlessly candid, and deems maneuver engagement infantile. When I ring, she fields. When occupied, she declares thus. No examinations. No sway. Merely lucid exchange. It's mundane. It's splendid. Jessica persists messaging sporadically. Extended compositions on evolution and errors and renewed opportunities. Rachel automatically consigns them to a repository titled Evaded Hazards. The latest proclaimed, you demonstrated your stance. You triumphed. Content. Affirmative, genuinely. I am. Because here's the essence regarding declaring someone excessively present. You best prepare for their shift to inaccessibility. And you best ascertain your capacity to manage your solicitation. Jessica couldn't. She engaged in foolish maneuver and claimed the foolish reward of solitude, acrimony, and exclusion. As for myself, I'm precisely as present as desired. Towards suitable individuals who value it rather than exploiting it. Amusing how resolution unfolds. Farewell Reddit. Proceeding to evening meal with Catherine. She selected the venue. No maneuvers. No examinations. Merely Thai cuisine and quality dialogue. And should I catch her off guard with midday meal sometime, she'll likely utter gratitude. Envision that.